Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Today we are going to be discussing the major themes in the novel Matigari by Ngugi and Thiong'o. In our previous discussions, we analyzed the plot of the novel as well as the characters and characterization. Please subscribe to the channel, click the notification bell so that you get notified when the video on the literary devices used in the novel will be uploaded. We are going to be looking at the themes. The first one we are going to be discussing is the theme of revolution. Theme of revolution is dominant in the novel, and as soon as Matigari learns that the freedom he fought for is still not obtained, what did he do next? He decided to stand up against the oppressors and start a revolution. So, in the beginning of the novel, he buries his weapon and put on a bed of peace, indicating that he tries to start a peaceful revolution. However, he soon has to face the limitations of his endeavors. Even though he is courageous, the majority of the people are too afraid of the government because they have informers everywhere, which means that there is an atmosphere of distrust, fear, and even fear of being betrayed. So the people are so focused on a glorified leader figure that they do not realize that they themselves are the key to break the chains of oppression. So in the prison cell, for example, the murderer says, "Finding your mouth can't really be all that hard." Why the murderer does not realize it, his words are an allegory of a call for a peaceful demonstration, where people are courageous enough to stand and demand for their right. So, Matigari realizes that it is impossible to change the situation by being peaceful or through peaceful revolution. So, with the Minister of Truth and Justice calling him a madman, he understands that the oppressor cannot be stopped by words of reason, as they have no desire to improve the living condition of the people. So he then decides to start a violent revolution. In the end, after he got shot by the police, he is considered as a martyr, with his ideas and ideas living on in the might told by the people. So the child picking up his gun and singing the song of victory is a sign of hope that eventually the situation of the people can be improved upon, and the people have succeeded to a significant extent in their revolution to get back their country. Another one is that of poverty and exploitation. Poverty and exploitation is also a dominant theme in the novel. Poverty as the prerequisite for exploitation is a central theme in the novel. So when Matigari comes from the mountain, the first thing that strikes Matigari is the poverty of the ordinary people. Even the poorest children are exploited because they have to pay an entrance fee to the dump, which grants them the right to rummage through the garbage. So Matigari intervenes when he sees two boys fighting for a shoelace, which indicates how poor the population is when even a cheap item like a used shoelace is considered valuable enough to be struggling for. It was a pathetic situation. So the women at the bar explained that they have to sell their bodies just to feed their family. And the workers at the factory barely earn enough to make their ends meet. despite that they work for long hours. So Matigari discovers that poverty is an essential tool for the imperialist, capitalist, and the government to control the people. So the fear of losing their job is the foundation of their exploitation. So if people are so poor that they are desperate, they are more likely to accept lower wages, which maximize the capitalist profits. So Ngugi and Thiong'o explicitly mention a series of Western and Asian countries and companies which serve as symbol of capitalism, indicating that the entire world is tolerating the suffering of the African people for their own gain, not that they love Africans. Then another one is that of oppression. And throughout the novel, the government is presented as an abstract force that oppresses its own citizens, thus securing their exploitation. So it is ironic that it names itself government of the people, when in fact it does nothing to improve the life of the people. It is striking that in the beginning, Matigari does not go to the police for help, as he does not trust them. So his inkling is later confirmed by two policemen chasing and threatening a woman because she did not want to engage in sexual intercourse with one of the cops. So the radio program, The Voice of Truth, constantly announces new measures to keep the people in line. While in the beginning, gathering of 5 or more citizens are prohibited, the government later even declared that dreams are forbidden, which underline the absurdity of the measures, as well as the government desperation when the leaders realize that the revolutionary movement gains momentum. Other elements of oppression, such as sentencing without a trial or public trial to scare people off potential revolutionaries, are still all too common in many countries around the world, justifying the author's claim that the story does not have a fixed time or a setting. Also, apart from the government, Western countries and their companies are also criticized as the driving force behind the government oppression. Mr. Williams, as the personification of imperialism, donates money to the great leader, thus seeking to maintain the status quo. Not only does he, and therefore the imperialists, tolerate the oppression of the people, he demands it to secure his profit that he make by exploiting the people and then making the people slave in their own country. So the imperialists support the government exploitation of the people because they are also gaining from it. Another thing is that of colonialism, neo-colonialism, and independence. So the novel never names its country. The name of the country is not mentioned. But we understand through inference that the novel also portrays colonialism, neo-colonialism, and also the neo-colonialism that pervades the African countries in the post-independence era, where the colonialists, though are no longer in control of the government, they put a figurehead there as a form of self-government, and then behind the figurehead, they continue exploiting the people and the natural resources of the people. And that was what happened in this novel, because people like Settler William, who was killed by Matigari and others, such imperialists, still continue to exploit the people. And that was why Matigari wanted to get rid of such people and their cronies from the land, so that the masses, the ordinary people, can have access to their land, can also be able to feed themselves without selling their body or without being slave to the political elites. So it was really unfortunate that colonialism, independence and neocolonialism does harm, almost equal harms to the ordinary citizens on the street in the context of this novel. So in our subsequent video, we are going to be analyzing the devices used in this novel. You can see a lot of imagery and several other devices that we are going to be discussing in our subsequent video. Remember to subscribe and click the notification bell so that you get notified when the video is uploaded. Thank you and have a very good day.